We can go 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, 3 minutes without oxygen, but we can't go for 3 seconds without thinking. Hi, I'm Sarah D. That's a quote from Caroline Leaf's book, Cleaning Up Your Mental Mess. My motto for decades has been life's greatest battles are fought in your mind. And that supports that. We cannot go for more than 3 seconds without thinking. So what is it we're thinking? Are we even aware of our thoughts? Mostly we're not. I'm sure you're aware that you're mostly not aware of your thoughts. And a lot of times our thoughts are the precursor to our feelings. Sometimes feelings come before thoughts, and they set up a positive feedback loop where they just keep reinforcing each other. It doesn't matter whether it starts with a thought or whether it starts with the feeling because your brain chemistry is wrong because of some physical thing as opposed to a thought thing. But nevertheless, they're related. And so we're always thinking something. And often, the things we're thinking are not useful for those things that we want to be doing or the kind of person we want to be. And one of my songs is, How do you make meaning when life feels empty? And that's the thing, we get to make meaning out of our lives. When we're younger, our parents, our organizations, all of our influences around us, they're the ones who are kind of interjecting the meaning that they want us to have, because that's what the community we're in is placing on those particular behaviors. And that's important. But then it reaches a point where it's important for us to determine, wait a minute, is that I'm following this recipe, I'm going to make this kind of cookie. Is that really the kind of cookie I want? And so the song I wanted to sing for you today it's just a ditty, and it's empowering. It goes along with You have everything you need to do everything you need to do today. And it goes like this. You're the kind of person who makes meaning that supports your well-being and goals. No matter what well-meaning others say or do. You're the kind of person that makes meaning that supports your well-being and goals. No matter what well-meaning others say or do. You're the kind of person that makes meaning that supports your well-being and goals. No matter what well-meaning others say or do. You're the kind of person that makes meaning, and you get to choose if it's going to support your well-being and goals, no matter what they say, or if you are going to choose to make meaning that where you shoot yourself in the foot, or you put a rock in your shoe and you walk around with it and say, well, it's really not that bad. I can do this. I can do this. There is always misfortune in life. Without necessity, without a challenge, without pain, solutions are not looked for. And we can either in difficulty and in pain and in wait a minute, this doesn't seem quite right, we can just stagnate and just stay there. In fact, we get to do that as long as we want to. That's a choice we can make. Or we can be motivated to find a solution and an answer. Without necessity, there's no motivation to act. Without necessity, there is no creation. My mom always said, necessity is the mother of invention. And so when things are difficult and you don't like them, and something's not going quite the way you want to, or you don't feel like yourself, you don't feel like you're where you want to be, or you're on the way to where you want to be, there's an answer that you need. And it often has to do with choosing a limitation, choosing a focus, something to move forward toward, even though you may not be quite certain that that's going to exactly give you what you need. When you're on the way to from point A to point B, you may have to go to point C and point D and point E first because there are detours and distractions, and that's okay. You can still get to point B. It's okay. But if we don't choose a focus, then when that distraction comes, if we don't refocus, if we don't have that focus even to begin with, we're just wandering, and we're gaining experience, and that's good. We can make it for our good, and we can be the kind of person that makes meaning, that supports our well-being and our goals. So we have to have our goals. We have to know what it is we're looking for. We choose how we will use our challenges, our pain. And if we don't choose how we're going to use those challenges, if we don't choose what limitations we're going to place in our lives will place limitations on us. No matter what you do, you can't be doing everything at once. So wherever you are, that means you're not somewhere else. Whatever you're doing, that means you're not doing something else. And if you aren't actively choosing what it is you are doing, the limitation is actively choosing what you are not doing. We have choice. We have choice to choose or choice not to choose. But either way, we have to choose a limitation of some kind. We have to focus our energy. And that's a challenge for me, because I want to take, so to speak, a bite out of all those cookies. There's all these cookies, all these experiences in life that are just, wow, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that. It's like, well, you can't have them all at once. Maybe you could put them on, maybe that's why the bucket list is so good. Then you have a list, and then you're focusing on one at a time. We need to focus on a smaller area. We need to create those boundaries for ourselves so that we can actually get what it is we want, so that we can actually make the meaning in our life that we want, that will support the well-being that we need. No matter what other people say, whether they say you should like this cookie, or you should like this career, or you should like this action, or you should like this organization, we need to be true to who we are. That's kind of what I would like to encourage in your life, is that you do what makes you feel most at home and at peace with you, with who you know, with that you deep inside that may have gotten lost somewhere along the way in the limitations that were chosen for you, or perhaps the ones that you chose for yourself. The cool thing about life is we can always choose again. And no matter what's happening, even if there are so many things that are not within our external control, internally we can choose how it is we're going to take it in. One thing Jordan Peterson says is that that perhaps in the challenges in life, maybe the only misfortune is to become corrupt and bitter. And so when things don't go our way, maybe the only misfortune is, it's really awful when things go really awfully, terribly not our way. But if we can use it as a growth opportunity, everything can work together for our good if we choose to learn the good we can learn from it, and where our power was in it. I'd like to leave you with one last quote from Earl Nightingale. "Whatever we plant in our minds and nourish with repetitive emotion will one day become a reality. That's what vision boards are all about. We have a vision board right in here. It's there. And the one we visit most often, even if we don't make an external one, even if we don't make a big external one, even if we make a small one on 3x5 cards and look at it frequently, whatever we vision in our mind, we create patterns in the world to support that. We see things and, oh, that we're getting closer to that. Oh, we're getting closer to that. Oh, wow, we're getting closer to that's so cool. Whatever we plant in our minds and nourish with repetition and emotion will one day become a reality. You're the kind of person that makes meaning, that supports your well-being and goals. No matter what, well-meaning others say or do. You're the kind of person that makes meaning, that supports your well-being and goals. No matter what, well-meaning others say or do. Let's go make meaning that supports our well-being and goals and make it that great day. I'm Sarah D.